Manual trading is dead. If you're still glued to your screen, trading one account at a time, looking at indicators and bars, trying to dissect what's going on in the market, you're miles behind. And in this world where things are constantly changing, getting faster, better, there's more pressure on you as an individual trader in order to be profitable. You've got to keep up with the way that the market is moving and where things are trending to. If you're new to the channel, I'm Cameron, full-time algo trader, been trading for the last 10 years. We've got a community of hundreds of traders who we are teaching to be independent. We're not telling them to copy us. We're not sending out signals. We're not making them dependent. We're building independent traders who understand how all the indicators work as real manual traders would, but are actually applying those tools and those skills and that mindset into automated algo trading through our wide portfolio of different pieces of software that allow you to trade through automation without needing to code, without needing to program, but just by being a sound, good fundamental trader, you can automate your trades completely. So that's what we talk about on this channel. We talk about getting traders to 5-figure withdrawals on a monthly basis. That's through prop firm capital, through scaling live capital, through tools like Darwinex that allow you to actually get external third-party investment. So we teach about all of the ways to access capital as well, including POW funding, which allows you to get capital instantly without having to have any challenges, any crazy rules or anything like that. So we keep up with best practices. We help our traders get better and get to those 5-figure withdrawals that everybody's looking for. In this video specifically, we're going to talk about how I don't even understand why anybody is still manually trading in the markets. And I'm sure, look, there's going to be manual traders out there that are successful, that are profitable, that have been doing it for a while, that are going to see this video and have a bunch of issues with everything I'm saying and explain why EAs suck and are broken and they always blow your account. And yes, all of that is true. We're going to talk today specifically about the difference between an EA, which is what everybody has pitched as what automated and algo trading is, and true automated trading. That's what we're going to dig into today in this video. So let me lay out the problem that I see with manual trading. And look, I don't want to go as far as to say that manual trading is dead forever. It'll always have a place in trading. And there's always those extremely skilled traders who just have a knack for reading the markets and seeing how things are going to go. And it almost seems like these guys can predict the future. But then that creates this sort of FOMO movement. And that's where signal groups come from and all these other sort of, let's call them non-scalable or non-sustainable ways of becoming a trader. Those were sort of introduced to the markets a long time ago on the backs of these very few, and I'm talking 0.01% of the manual traders out there that are saying they're profitable are actually profitable. And even the ones that are might be profitable for short periods of time, but they're losers over a couple months, might wipe out losses from several years before. You know, trading has been around for a while. There's hedge funds, there's institutions that have been leveraging the markets for a while, particularly in long-term trading is where you see more of the sustained profitability. When you look at intraday trading, doing that manually is extremely challenging. You can practice and practice and practice, and there are sound fundamentals out there, but to be a consistent day trader that makes money day in and day out, month over month, year over year, profitably is extremely, extremely rare. But when you flip that on its head and you look at algo trading and automated trading, and I'm not talking about these EAs, again, the same type of person that is a guru in a signal community that's saying,
hey, copy my trades and I'll make you rich for the rest of your life,
or whatever messages they're preaching. The parallel to that in the automated trading world are all these EAs that exist out there, and they give them fancy names, catchy names. You get attracted to it from a marketing perspective, and they can show what they typically do is they completely overfit a backtest to make it look like the EA is capable of performing far better than it actually is in live markets. And then they just say, hey, take this EA, put it on your account, never think about anything again, let it trade, and away it will go. But automated trading actually is more similar to manual trading than most people care to admit. Automated trading requires backtesting. With manual trading, you're backtesting by looking at charts and you're trying to make an inference about what position would I have entered if I would have been watching the markets play out live. Automated trading, on the other hand, is systematic. It's through algorithms. It's through data. There is no difference between the trades it's going to take today and the trades it's going to take in your backtest from the perspective of the indicators that it's using to enter those trades, or whatever the decisions, the indicators that it's using to exit the positions and the trades, the logic, I should say, that it's using to enter and exit trades. So your backtest is actually not influenced by hindsight or by emotion. It's a true backtest of the fundamentals of why that bot is entering or exiting the trade. So the big thing with manual trading versus automated trading, when you look at a true automated trading system, is the ability to actually manage multiple accounts at once. Historically speaking, in manual trading, you would have hedge fund managers or money managers that would collect money from 401ks or retirement accounts or pension accounts, and they would diversify them across a wide array of instruments that are meant for 20, 30, 40-year gains. These would be bonds, these would be, long-term index funds, those sorts of things. And those would do decently well. The people really making the money on the back end of that were the institutions that were taking percentages of the gains in order to then provide the actual account owner with, modest 5 to 8% annual gains, so you could sail off into retirement long term. But there was nothing to that effect that was similar in an intraday or day trading world. And that's where automation came in. And automation was first exposed in the hedge fund world and in the institutional world as an exclusive item that these large institutions who could afford millions and millions and millions of dollars of compute and stand up massive data warehouses and data centers to be able to run the algorithms needed to not only trade, but optimize and backtest in perpetuity as markets were changing, right? So as technology evolved, eventually this became accessible through things like MetaTrader, MQL, where you could actually develop and code your own script to actually place trades. But first, it was really a way to write code that aligned with your manual trading system so that you wouldn't have to place those trades manually anymore, so that the people that were actually had what they felt like were profitable solutions could A, backtest them without emotional input, and B, place trades in the live market in line with their existing system. Now, what this didn't do is allow for dynamic retesting of the system and dynamic updates of the system. And this is what the hedge funds were doing very well. Their latency was extremely low in their ability to place trades, and their ability to dynamically update their algorithms in line with changing markets was also far above the standard retail trader who didn't have access to the technology that was available back in the day. And historically, we're talking decades ago, as this technology advanced. Today, where we're at is we have the ability with tools, with software, with AI, but there is a huge caveat here, right? And this was recently brought up in our community at POW, where if you see people marketing that AI is actually making the decision making in their EAs and actually placing trades, leveraging AI as the decision making factor, don't believe it, guys. It's not quite how it works, not yet anyways. And we have done extensive research on this at POW because we're always trying to advance and keep things, stay as far ahead of the curve as possible. But there is no way to accurately do this now with the latency required and the connections to the brokers required to actually make the trades as fast as they need to be placed, with the decision-making framework happening in the back end to actually make a profitable system off of AI alone. But where you can use AI is in the backtest and in the re-optimization of set files into the future. So let's make this a little bit more visual for you guys. So here's the real fundamental outlook of what we're trying to accomplish here, and where I see automated trading as an absolute game changer and giving you a massive edge over anything else that you're going to do. Okay, so in today's world, we have so many options to trade with, guys. Like you have FTMO, right? You have Fivers, you have funding pips. These are just off the top of my head too, right? You have FXify, and everybody has their preferences. Everybody's going to have shit to talk on each of these individually or holistically, but these are your prop firms, right? And there's so many more than this. There are so many more that are out there, and reality is our best advice is to stick to the top firms, because then you have to deal with bullshit rules. You don't have to deal with flaky payouts or any of this nonsense, right? Stick with the top firms and you'll be okay, because there's plenty of those as it is. Like with these guys alone, I don't know the exact number. I think FTMO, you can get up to 400K. I think Fivers is 400K. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's in the ballpark of like 1 to 2 million in funding capital just with these guys right here, right? Alone. Okay. That's available to you. Now, if we move on to the next, we also have cent accounts. You can get cent accounts if you're a UK citizen or in the EU, not in the US, unfortunately, although there are ways around it, which we can talk about. But cent accounts allow you to take $1,000 and trade it as if it is 100,000 cents. And the reason you do that is for leverage. So you can trade 0.01 lots, but it's going to be equivalent to what would be 0.0001 lots on a 1K account, right? So it gives you that added leverage and that scope to be able to trade. So there's another option. And this is really infinite, but you can run 4 to 5 of these cent accounts. Instead of taking $1,000, you can, instead of putting $5,000 into one account, you can take $1,000 5 times and put it into 5 5 different accounts. And why would you do that? Well, because you can run 5 different strategies. You can have more aggressive strategies on one. You can have more conservative on the other. You can start with 1,000 and look to gain enough profit to make 1,000 and then pull 1,000 out and make it a completely free account and then start to split those accounts into more and more as you make profit so that you're not adding unnecessary risk across the entire amount of capital. You're splitting the risk across the capital evenly, right? So there's all kinds of reasons. If you were manual trading, however, you wouldn't have the luxury of being able to have 5, 10, 15 different accounts, right? In order to diversify risk in that way. Not to mention also trying to trade prop firm capital at the same time that you're trading this. So if you want to be able to trade this and you want to be able to trade all of these all at the same time, well, automated trading is really the only way that you're going to be able to do that. Now, aside from cent accounts, we also have things like Darwinex, right? Darwinex allows you to trade other people's capital. So this is something where you can actually get external third-party investment into your account. And if you show that you're consistently profitable month over month and you rank amongst the top performing traders in their community, you get more capital pushed into you that you get to trade with, which means more profitability. So just here alone, right, guys, I've just shown there's probably so many more than I'm not even thinking of here, but this is like 10 to 15 accounts that you can trade in, equaling millions in capital, 3 million plus in capital, right? Just in what I found alone. Here's the great part then. Because of that, because we're leveraging it in this way through automation, we actually have then the ability to target 3 to 5% per account, right? We don't need to be aggressive on any one account. I don't need to have one account that has 100K in it that if I want to quit my job, my full-time job, I need to make 10% a month in that account after profit split, right? This is 3 to 5% across 10, 15, 20 different accounts. It takes half the risk of what it takes to make 10% on an account. And I can do that conservatively, and I can do it across an unlimited number of accounts, scaling my ability to earn well past 10K a month. I can do 20, 30, 40K a month with the same level of effort it would take me to make 1K a month, right? And the more capital I have access to, let's add instant funding into this as well, because we talked about prop firm capital, but what about instant funding, right? If I add instant funding into this, I can start to take the profits from this 3 to 5% and put it into instant funding and gain a 100K account every single month, right? I can take profits, I can reinvest it into instant funding. I can gain a 100K account on month 1, on month 2, another 100K, right? With the different firms that offer instant funding. Firms like, POW Funded, we offer instant funding directly, but you've also got Instant Funding IO. I think there's a bunch more and there's more coming on the market. I think Funding Pips offers instant funding now, right? So you have the combination, you have prop firm capital, you have Darwinex, you have your own live capital, you have cent accounts, you have instant funding accounts, right? Couple all that together, 10, 15, 20, 25 accounts, and each of them, you can then scale that down to maybe you only need to make 1 to 2%. You can have really conservative files that you would never worry about blowing because they're so conservative. They're only making 1% a month. The drawdown's extremely low. You don't have to push it because you've got so many accounts and so much access to capital that you're growing at an insane rate anyways without taking on the risk that's needed to take on, right? So this is where automated trading just changes the game. You can't do this with manual trading. You might be able to run multiple accounts and have copy trading set up and all of that, but then still you're trading one strategy across multiple accounts. You're not properly diversifying anyways. In addition to all these different accounts with automated trading, you can actually run different strategies, different pairs. I can have maybe 20% of my accounts. Like if I put this onto a chart, right? I can have, some percentage running. These are trading Forex. And maybe this percentage here is trading stocks, right? These are this is my stock trading portion. These here are trading, let's say futures, right? And then maybe up here we have indices, right? Okay, so now I'm not only diversifying from the point of I've got all kinds of capital out there in different modes and different methods. If one prop firm blows up, that's okay. I've got 3 or 4 other prop firms, right? I've got cent accounts, I've got personal accounts, but I don't just have one personal account with a bunch of money in it. I have 5 personal accounts, all diversified, trading differently, so that if something does go south in one of them, I still have my other 4, right? No big deal. But now also I'm trading automatically, so I don't need to understand personally the fundamentals of Forex, stocks, futures, and indices, but I can backtest the bot using the same exact methodology, right? Because analyzing data is the same across any of these, and create bots that trade in each of these different markets as well. So now I'm diversified from a capital acquisition standpoint, and I'm diversified from a product standpoint. We can diversify that further too, guys. We can go into, I want, some percentage of my accounts, maybe a larger percentage trading trend strategies, where I only want the algos looking to trade based on EMA, and directional index, RSI. I want those indicators to say that we are moving in a upward trend and only take long positions, or if we're moving in a downward trend, only take short positions, but don't trade in any ranging markets where we're unsure what direction the market is going. I want some percentage of my accounts to trade that way. However, I want some other percentage of my accounts trading only when it's ranging, only in ranging markets. I want to just hedge. I want to buy low, sell high, buy low, scalp through ranges, right? I can have some of my bots and some of my portfolios set up in those markets. And then the final one, we save for looking for points of reversal, right? We say, hey, this one is specifically hunting for sniper entries when we get to the peak of a Bollinger Band and we know it's going to reverse, or we're completely overbought or oversold. We need to push back down the other way. So now I've got certain bots running different strategies so that no matter what the markets are doing, and again, no matter which market either, when you combine these two things together, you get massive diversification. And then when you pull all that together with all of the different account styles that you have, like up here, you've got prop firms, you've got cent accounts, you've got Darwinex, you've got instant funding, and you pull it across all the different products and all the different strategies. How do you do that as a manual trader? It's impossible. You can't run all of this all at once. And why would you run all of this? Because every single one of these can be targeted to make just even 1% a month on, 3 million in diversified capital through prop firms and what else is $30,000 a month. Now, I know there's profit splits and everything, but I'm trying to keep the math simple, and that's a little sideways, but $30,000 a month, making 1% a month. You can lay back, you can be really simplified here. Now, I'm skipping some steps where we have to pass prop firm challenges and all of that. So this isn't like tomorrow you're going to have access to 3 million in capital. But if you start small and you take a slow approach and you reinvest your profits into acquiring more capital, and you do this over a period of months, years, your life will be insanely different. There's a full calculator we have on our site that talks about making just 2 to 3% a month and reinvesting those gains into your capital, that you can turn 10K into 100K inside of a year and 100K into $1 million inside of the following year, right? Or even more, because the compound growth is going to take those accounts and that capital and turn it into an outrageous amount of money for you, right? So these are the fundamentals. Now, we'll show you this on the screen here visually as sort of a next step with this. So what does it actually look like to have a software that enables you to trade on this many accounts, on this many products with this level of risk and profitability? This is a tool we have called Set Compare. It actually all starts with Auto Tester, where we run a massive backtest purely through automation across Forex, indices, metals, again, all the different products, right? And then we can set this up, and within a few hours, we now have set files created that we can then lump together. So this is 6 different trading bots that were created within a few hours of running this test, completely automated. And then I can now see what happens if all 6 of these accounts were running all at the same time. Well, in November, this is 100K accounts, by the way, to start. So in November, 6,700 in profit. December, 6,000 in profit. January, 7,000, 6,000, 7,000. 6,000, almost 7, right? May, it wasn't a full month in May on this particular backtest. Close to $42,000 made in really about 6 months of trading. So it's 42% over 6 months with a maximum drawdown of just 2%, about $2,000 drawdown. Here's what it looks like in a graph, right? The blue line here shows the overall portfolio balance, and the colored lines below show each individual account that's running, right? So each individual account doesn't have to work that hard. The collective value of all of the accounts, however, is massively profitable, and the risk is extremely low. You actually don't have any high risk set files in here, but you have, a portfolio that's making a shit ton of money without really pushing the limits too hard in terms of risk. And this actually shows you in the period of time, over that 6-month period, I've entered $1,000. I want to know every time that it had a drawdown of more than $1,000, 1%, right? And you can see which set files were responsible for that drawdown. So you can see, is there ever any overlap? Any 2 of these accounts or more are trading an open drawdown at the same time, giving me similar exposure at the same time. So you can see over a 6-month period, this only happened a handful of times, and very rare was it, multiple set files opened at the same time with extensive drawdown. So my likelihood of having excessive drawdown across more than one account at one time is extremely low. That's what this is telling me. So we've got low risk. We're preserving as many accounts as possible. So if we do blow one prop firm challenge or funded account, Well, the other ones are fine, right? Because they're all trading diversified strategies with diversified products, right? So that's the idea here. This is how we grow capital at an insane rate without having a ton of risk and without having to do anything live in the markets. Once this backtest is completed, the EAs go onto the account and the trading is all done automatically. The heavy lift is actually done in the data analysis beforehand, not afterwards. What I'd like to show you guys next is inside of our community where this is happening in real time every single day. So here's Michael sharing some accounts that he's got. This one's up 1.3% since a live Q&A that he ran in our community. He ran a live Q&A coaching on some tactics and strategies of how to set certain bots up to make trades in certain ways. And then he showed his results immediately after, just a few days later, up over 1% on this particular account. Here's another member in the community showing his results up 3.5% here. Look at the drawdown, 0.618% drawdown, yet $3,500 in profit. This is what we talk about. We talk about low drawdown with the ability to have massive gains. That's because we were diversifying multiple strategies on one account, the ability to use that combination to maximize profitability while reducing drawdown. So here's a single trade strategy. Some members in our community are trading one trade, stop loss, take profit. This is a nice bit of profit there on this one. So you can see different members of our community, different results, different strategies they're running. This isn't a community full of people that are just taking one off-the-shelf EA and putting it onto their accounts. We're all trading the same, hoping that this one strategy that we made and backtested for is going to be the end-all be-all. Everybody on here you see that's profiting is doing so with their own strategies that they're building using the tools that I just showed you. And we're coaching this on a week-over-week basis. We're running live Q&As, we're coaching calls. We're putting best practices in the community so that everybody can be successful with these tools. Okay, so this is just a few examples here. There are prop firm withdrawal certificates that we can show as well inside of the community. People getting withdrawals from prop firms, also withdrawing their own live cash. Also, POW funding. A lot of we offer funding directly to our members. So if you're feeling skeptical about the prop firms that are out there, our members trust and love us. We've been with a lot of our members for almost 5 years now that have been in this community. So we decided to offer our own funding option at POW Funding. So it's team-pow.com/POW-funding. It's instant funding offer, 10% drawdown on the monthly accounts, 8% drawdown on the one-time pay accounts. We do everything we can inside of our community to teach concepts like this that make traders profitable, make them independent. So you're not dependent on us. We don't want people that are just relying on our trades to make you successful. You want to be your own sustainable trader, right? And that's really what makes us unique and different. Support ticket turnaround time is insanely fast because that is it's core in our philosophy to make everybody better. So if you're in the grind of manual trading, and even if you're doing well, by the way, this isn't just people who are failing at manual trading, and even if you just are looking for something to supplement, maybe you enjoy manual trading and you want to keep doing that, but you want to supplement your income through a different trading system that doesn't have to be maintained and managed on a day-over-day basis. I implore you to apply to join our community. There is a short video at the link in the description that talks a little bit more about what you get, what's in our community, what the offer really is. There's an application that takes about 30 to 60 seconds to complete. If you're approved, you'll be taken to an offer page where you can accept the offer to join, pay the license fee. There's a special discount going on there now, an incentive for people that want to take fast action and jump right in. There's a pretty massive discount that you get access to. So I urge you to click the link in the description, apply to join, just take a look at what we've got and see if it's a good fit for you. And again, could be in addition to what you're currently doing today, or for a lot of our members, it could be all that you need. But these systems that we talked about today and so much more, this is what we're talking about here on YouTube. But when we get into our group coaching calls, we get real tactical and in the weeds of really how to make life-changing money through automated trading and scale your accounts. And we're constantly looking for the best funding offers to bring to our community, the best partnership opportunities to give you guys more access to capital, more access to tools, and overall profitability in the markets. So click the button, apply now, and we'd love to see you in the community. Outside of that, if you like this video or got any amount of value or entertainment from it, leave a comment with your feedback or your questions. We'd love to answer them, but also subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for joining us here today.